How are you, my loves? Welcome to my channel. Here we talk frankly about special and very important topics in the marital relationship, and we try to shed light on the secrets of many men that they do not pay attention to, although they can make a big difference in their lives with their life partner. In this video, we will talk about sensitive and exciting places in the woman's body, which most husbands do not know anything about. Although these places are considered the key to emotional and physical communication between you, we will talk about them in a scientific, respectful, and completely safe way. If you found information in this video that was useful to you, write us number 1 in the comments. If you did not feel that there is something new or useful, it is enough to write 0 because your opinion always directs us to develop and offer the best. Did you know that there are certain places in the woman's body that could have a very strong effect on your relationship with her if you touched or dealt with them in the wrong way? Many men do not have an idea about these places, or they pass by them as if they do not exist, and this is why it makes the relationship gradually cool down, and it may also make the wife feel that she is not appreciated, or even start to distance herself without saying anything. In this video, we will talk about 4 very important areas that doctors and relationship specialists advise that attention must be paid to them because they prepare the woman psychologically and emotionally before any moment of closeness. We will also clarify some common mistakes that men fall into without meaning to, but their impact is directly on the wife's response and desire for the relationship. Stay with us until the end of the video because there are surprises and information that most men do not know, but they may change your view of the marital relationship completely. Let's start by correcting some misconceptions before I get into talking about sensitive areas or details of the relationship. We must first understand why women lose their desire for the relationship even though their husbands are in very good health and do not have any physical problems. The truth is that the problem is not always in the body. Many times, it is in the way a man and his treatment of his wife during intercourse. So let me explain to you some common mistakes that men make without realizing it, but they have a big impact. The first mistake, which is one of the most common, is rushing into the relationship. That is, a man enters into the relationship immediately without any preparation, neither emotionally nor even physically. You know that most women do not respond to relationships immediately. You need to prepare yourself mentally and physically before starting any relationship. Men often start suddenly, without any introduction, not with a sweet word or even a touch that gives a feeling of love and desire. The result is that the woman becomes psychologically closed off and her body is not ready, even though the man is completely ready. And this is the first contradiction that makes the relationship fail. Physical closeness alone is not enough. The woman needs words that will touch her heart, looks that make her feel desired and very tender, ignite her feelings before taking any step. Some men are not aware of this point and think that just an erection is enough for the relationship to proceed. But they are surprised that the wife has started to distance herself or become completely cold. The surprise is that doctors in Western countries consider this introductory stage an essential part of sex therapy and describe it as stronger than any other type of medication or treatment. Many studies have shown that most women need at least 15 minutes of emotional and physical stimulation before they start the actual relationship. Simply put, before you think of the relationship as a body, you must work on the feelings and sensations. The woman needs to feel that she is loved, that she is feared, that she is not just a body. At that time, she will find a completely different response. Now we come to the second mistake. which is that the man only cares about him. He does not even care to ask her, I wonder. You enjoyed it. You felt pleasure. You reached the peak. This method makes the woman feel that she is a tool and not a partner, and her brain begins to record this negative feeling. And with the time of desire, it disappears automatically every time more than the one before. Women by nature like to feel that she is a partner at the moment that her husband is interested in her, senses her, takes care of herself, of her interactions, and tries to make her also reach satisfaction, just like him. He does not like to be satisfied. The big surprise here is that there are studies that say that about 70% of women do not reach orgasm with their husbands. Not because there is a physical problem, but because men completely ignore their emotional and physical needs. You can imagine that this small neglect can cause much bigger problems, such as coldness, aversion, or even constant complaints about the relationship. The rule is simple and very clear. If you want to enjoy, you must start and let her enjoy first. When she reaches comfort and pleasure, you too will feel that you are living an experience completely different. Now we move on to the third mistake, which is that there is no dialogue after the relationship, or that the man deals with her with complete coldness. After that, you find him as soon as the relationship ends, all his feelings stop. He goes to sleep, or eats, or drinks, leaving his wife in a state of silence. There may also be internal sadness that she is unable to express. Why does this happen? Because the man thinks that the relationship is over, but the truth is that the woman still needs some very simple things: a sweet word, a warm hug, a kind touch after the relationship, so that she feels that she is not a means and that she is not alone. These moments, despite their simplicity, plant a sense of security inside her and make you, in her eyes, a complete man, exactly the one she dreamed of. What may surprise you is that many doctors confirm that the moments after the relationship are what determine whether the relationship will succeed or fail in the long run. If these moments were full of tenderness and affection, a woman would wait for them every time and miss them. But if the relationship ends every time with dryness and coldness, then this is the beginning of a decline in feelings step by step. So never underestimate this moment. Even one word like "you were beautiful today" or "I love you so much" can make a huge difference and ignite love and passion again, as if you are still in your first days together. In the end, you may be a strong man with good health and able to do your part in the relationship very well. But if you do not know how to engage the woman with you in this world, you will never reach the pleasure you dream of, and she will also not reach what she desires. A relationship is not about muscles. A relationship is a complete scene of feelings, art, and knowledge. Now, after we understand these mistakes, let's move on to the next point in the video, which is what is the first of the 4 exciting areas that most men do not pay attention to, and how can you deal with it gently and professionally so that you can open the woman's heart before opening her body. But before we continue, if you have reached this point with me and you have not subscribed to the channel or pressed the like button, come on now! Do it so that we can complete the journey together, step by step. Let's start with the first of the 4 stations that I will reveal to you today. And believe me, this is one of the areas that men ignore the most, even though it is one of the most important keys to psychological and physical arousal in women. We will start with the first area, which is the neck, especially on the sides. Did you know that the neck is one of the most sensitive areas in a woman's body? And you know that one soft touch in this area can turn her feelings 180 degrees and change her feelings about you and the entire relationship? The neck and the sides are not just thin skin or visible bone, as many people think. It is an area full of nerve endings and is directly connected to the places of sensation in the brain. That is, when you touch this area gently or run your fingers over it calmly, the brain understands it just as it understands the word love or a hug in front of a woman. By nature, she does not react quickly to any physical touch. She needs to feel safe. She needs to feel that she is desired. That is why when you touch her neck or kissing her gently is not just a physical act. It's like a message telling her, I see you, and I care about your feelings before your body. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever tried starting your intimate relationship with a light kiss on the tip of her neck before touching any other part of her body? If you haven't done this before, I would like to tell you that you have missed a lot. This area in particular helps raise the level of hormones associated with desire, such as oxytocin, which is called the affection or love hormone. Although most men enter into a relationship quickly and head directly to the body, ignoring the neck from both sides is a very big mistake. At that time, the woman might feel that the relationship is just a duty, not a real moment full of feelings. But just a touch with your hand, or even a simple whisper, close to her ear, or gently running your fingers over the neck. These small movements affect her psychologically greatly and send a clear message to her mind. I am interested in your feelings, not just your body. Frankly, I saw this effect with my own eyes with more than 100 husbands I spoke to. Some of them were really suffering from their wives' coldness, and as soon as they changed their method and started focusing on this point, they noticed a huge difference in their response, as if she had completely transformed into a different person. Don't forget, this area in particular stirs feelings of pollution in women and links the relationship to something much deeper than just the body. That is, when you whisper a word close to her neck or touch it gently, any second step ignites desire inside her in a quiet way, but its effect is very strong. That is why many specialists advise that the massage should always be the starting point, especially on nights when you feel that your wife is tired or not psychologically ready. In the end, always remember that a successful marital relationship does not need strength, but it needs understanding. It does not need exaggeration, but it needs sincere touches. Sleeping on both sides is an ideal beginning for every man who wants to start with emotion, not instinct. Get ready, because what is coming will completely change your view. The shoulders in a woman are not just a part of the body. They are a very sensitive area from a nervous and psychological perspective, and they carry a great deal of feeling, especially if the relationship between you is based on love, flow, and unchanging feelings. Gently caressing the shoulders, whether with your hand, lips, or even your words, creates a kind of comfort and security for a woman, and opens a big door to deep emotional communication. Many men think that arousal begins and flares up in certain areas, but those who truly understand a woman's body and mind know that true arousal begins with the first affectionate touch on her shoulder. Also, when you hug her and put your hand on her shoulder gently, this gesture tells her without words, I am here, I see you, and I love you. And this affects her more than any romantic word you can say. In fact, touching the shoulders in this affectionate way can be a silent embrace, a wordless hug, and a message of love that does not need explanation. A woman feels safe when her back is embraced and her shoulders are touched, especially if it's in a moment of fatigue or tension. A smart man is the one who knows that a relationship is not only about romantic words or explicit intimate moments, but about small touches like this that can make a big difference in his wife's feelings. Her shoulder is not just a place for this touch, a door to her heart if you know how to reach it correctly. And if you haven't tried it yet, try it today. Stay behind her in the kitchen or while she's watching TV. Put your hand on her shoulder gently, squeeze a little as if you're reassuring her. Look into her eyes and tell her, "I'm with you." But remember that this touch must be with feeling from your heart, not to her or as a compliment. She'll feel it and she'll feel you. Do you want to know other places where you can touch her and give her the same feeling of security and love? Continue with me in the next part. The most important thing that affects a wife and makes her upset is when she feels that there's no attention. Not just any attention. What's meant here is indirect attention. That is, start with her shoulder, not her body. Start with simple movements as if you're trying to relieve her fatigue, not as if you're asking her for something or waiting for something in return. I've noticed this in a large number of couples who suffer from coldness or dryness in the relationship. Most of them miss out on these small things, even though they're very important. But those who start their relationship with a gentle touch on the shoulder, you will find the wife interacting with them with deeper feelings, as if she is saying to him, "Yes, I feel for you because you understand me." And do not forget that the shoulders are one of the clearest symbols of trust. When you touch your wife's shoulder from behind, or even stand next to her and pat it gently, she feels that you are her support, and she feels that she is safe and protected. This feeling of safety is the first key to any real response. Think about it like this. The shoulder is the beginning of the arm, and the arm is the means of hugging and containing. That is, when you start from the shoulder, it is as if you are praying that she will get closer to you, not with words, but with feelings. If you want my opinion from a scientific point of view, the shoulder muscles are directly connected to the neck and back, and these areas become very tense due to the fatigue and pressure that we go through every day. Therefore, when you massage her shoulder or even touch it gently, you are sending signals to her brain that she understands that there is comfort, and the body begins to reduce tension and secrete happy hormones such as serotonin. The surprise for many men is that what they don't know is that women often don't say frankly what they love. But a simple touch on the shoulder makes a woman feel that she is feared and at the same time appreciated. So my friend, always make the shoulders the beginning of the relationship or even a transition station between one moment and the next. Get close to your wife. Put your hand on her shoulder gently and say a sweet word to her. Or even ask her, "I love you. May I ease your fatigue today?" These simple words can open her heart to you before she hugs you and can change her view of the relationship from just an ordinary moment to a true love that she feels. Now, after we understood how much the shoulder and neck have a great impact, we have two more areas whose impact is no less important. And maybe the third one will be a big surprise for you because it is far from what you expect. But it is very close to a woman's feelings. We talked about the neck, then the shoulders, and now we are coming to the third area, which is one of the areas that many people close off when they ignore it. Even though its effect is very strong and makes a difference in the wife's feelings and her readiness for the relationship, this area is the inner thigh. Have you ever noticed how a woman's features change when you touch this area gently and tenderly? This is not a coincidence at all. This area is associated with a sense of safety and containment and sends direct signals to the emotional center in her brain. What is meant here is not just the touch itself, but the intention behind the touch. When you touch that place gently and slowly, Without rushing, it is as if you are telling her with your body language, I respect your wishes, and I won't come near you unless you want me to. Many men make the mistake of thinking that arousal means pressure or speed, but the truth is no. The inner thigh needs very light touches, more like a gentle stroke. Don't touch too hard or too quickly here, as you might ruin the whole moment. Frankly, I personally heard from many women saying that they feel that their husbands are getting close to them as if they are entering a race and not a relationship. And this is very painful for them psychologically and makes them feel that they are not appreciated. Therefore, if you know how to deal with this area in the right way, you will open the door to the next one without saying a word. And because we believe that every small detail can make a huge difference in a relationship, we decided to postpone talking about the fourth and final area to the next video because it deserves a special explanation and precise advice. We should not rush into something of this importance. But now, if you feel that this video is about you or you have discovered new information, do not forget to express your appreciation by supporting the channel financially or even with a simple word from you. This word can make a big difference. And if you have not subscribed yet, maybe now is the best time for you to be part of this conscious community.